So it's that time of year again. The veil is thinning and all that. But there's been a lot of weird things going on in life, and I haven't redone my ward since we moved into this house. So it's time to do it. So I got all my stuff together, and whenever you hear us on here talking about, a witch works with what she has and what she can find, do not judge me for my Christmas bags. It was the only biodegradable bags I could find at the store. Because I just do not have the time or the energy to drive 30 miles away for fabric bags. So, we're going to finish my nicotine, and then I'm going to get started on this process. Alright, so first let's go over some of the ingredients that I use. I will not be showing you all of them, obviously, but one of the things I use is forge water. This is water from a blacksmith's forge. I use it to anoint my bags with a protective symbol. I also use Spanish moss, because Spanish moss is good for confusing your enemies. Confusing the people who want to try to come after you, or any, other thing that would mean you ill will, because they get tangled up in it, basically. Next, my key ingredient are black tourmaline chips, if it'll focus. Black tourmaline makes a great tag lock. Now, if you know what a tag lock is, that's basically something that, magically speaking, has your energy, so that if something is thrown at you or is coming towards you specifically, it will absorb it instead of it hitting you. But black tourmaline naturally, in the metaphysical sense, absorbs negative energy and stuff like that. So this is the key ingredient in my protective wards, because it will absorb those things and keep them from coming toward me. Now, to further help that, I use several other herbs. I've used stuff like cedar, and I've used different types of pepper, because pepper is good for banishing. I also include things that invite in the things that I want. I want things that invite in love and peace, so I use herbs that would represent that, like roses and chamomile. And then I also want to invite in my ancestors so that they can pass freely through my wards, follow me and my family to protect us and guide us. So I use something from them to do that as well. The thing that I use, other people may not, I use dirt from my grandfather's grave. It invites in my ancestors, makes it where they can pass in freely. You can incorporate any type of banishing herbs, protective herbs, healing, metaphysical healing herbs, not medically. Obviously, we don't do that on this YouTube channel, guys. But stuff like that. You want to banish the things that no longer serve you, banish the things that are trying to do you ill will, make a barrier so that the things and the people who wish you ill will cannot pass and will be repelled, and invite in that which you want to be able to come freely. So me, I want my ancestors, my spirits, my deities, I want them to come freely. If it is coming here to aid me or my family, then it is welcome. So turning the camera back around, ignore the sticker, because I'm a dollar store redneck witch kind of person. You can set up as many black candles as you wish. Black is a color for banishing and for protection. So I'm going to construct my bags on top of this tin with the black candles burning. Now, the construction of the bags is fairly simple. You're just going to take your ingredients, you're going to put them in the bag, telling them what they're supposed to do while they're in these bags. Alright, I've made my bags. Now, to anoint, I'm just going to dip my finger in the water. I'm going to take my bags and I'm going to draw protective symbol that I use on every bag. So at this point, now that my bags are constructed, I am going to practice some fire safety and wait for my candles to burn out on their own. After that, I am going to walk the boundaries of my property and at all four corners bury one of the bags. As I walk the boundary, it sets up that barrier because I'm carrying these bags with me. I'm focusing on my intent to protect myself and my family from anyone and anything that seeks to do us harm. And it creates that barrier so that the negative, the bad, the ill intent either cannot or has a really hard time getting past. Now, whenever I make a stop at every corner, I'm going to take an incense stick that the scent, I guess you could call it, is related to some sort of protective thing. I usually would use dragon's blood, but I am out of that. So I have these wonderful incense sticks from the dollar store that are supposed to be sage. I don't know what kind of sage, because there's a million different kinds of sage, and these came from the dollar store. But I've used them in other stuff, and they do the job. I mean, different types of sage do different things, but they have two things in common: cleansing and protection, just generally speaking. And that's from personal experience. If it doesn't work that way for you, it doesn't work that way for you. I know kitchen sage is protective. But like I said, a million different kinds of sage. They all do different things, but generally speaking, they tend to have protection and cleansing in common. Now, I am doing the four corners, but I have done multiple stops along the way in the past when I've had more craziness going on and more supplies. Make multiple points. And you don't have to bury the bags. If you have fences, you can hang them on the fence. I just like to use biodegradable bags and bury them because then I know about how long before I need to redo my wards. Because the ward is dependent upon how long the bag is intact. Once the bag has rotted and the ingredients have started to do the same and become part of the soil is when you redo your wards. Fabric usually takes somewhere between 3 to 5 years depending on the type of fabric. Paper, not as long. I'm probably going to have to redo these in about a year. But that's how I know when I need to redo them. It's dependent upon the biodegradability of the bag in which I place my ingredients. I'm guessing what I used last time, which were cotton sheets, because I made my own bags last time, did not hold up so well as the burlap that I used at the old property. I don't know. But wait on my candles, bury my bags, and then I'm going to take some kids trick-or-treating wearing my hat. Stay safe, stay balanced, and happy Samhain.